Huh? Oh, hi. I was just thinking about this journey I've thrown you in on for 52 weeks of storytelling. And I'm not going to say I'm second guessing it, but it's kind of really big, isn't it? It's kind of like a lot. So I wanted to find another small piece we could work on. So far, we've done who we can talk to, a little bit of list building, and last video we covered a little bit about what to say once we've actually like made the appointment, like set the meet, you set the coffee date. And so I think the next part is a little bit technical. Like, what are you going to do when you actually get there? You know you know who you're talking to. You know how you're going to start the conversation. Now we need to figure out what you're actually going to record it on, if you're going to record it or not. So I know we talked a little bit about asking permission to do certain things. So this is your friendly PSA reminder that you can absolutely record the conversation. Just ensure that you have asked permission first, because nothing's worse than recording a conversation and then finding out later that it wasn't okay. Not good. So always ask permission first before you record a conversation. Can you tell I've screwed that one up? So learn from my experience and don't do it. Okay? So ask your permission. And in order to record, you can use your phone. So most smartphones there's some app that you can record audio files on. I personally like doing them you can do them in Evernote, you can do them in Google Drive, and I'll include a couple links down in the description of this video. Another thing you can do is once you have actually recorded the conversation, you have an audio file, and you can send that off to a transcription company that will then, guess what? Take the audio file and make a text document or a Word document out of it. So you can have everything word for word that was said by the person, and you won't miss anything. So when you go to actually write the story or put something together or put a memory book together or just archive what you worked on, you'll have all of it, all the pieces you need. This video will cover a little bit of some technical stuff and what to do when you go to your coffee date where you're chatting with your person and having a conversation. And depending on the conversation, these things will apply. Sometimes they won't. So I can't wait to share them with you. It is covering recording, transcriptions, and what to do with all of those things. Okay, so we've gotten our transcription. We talked a little bit about what you can do with the transcription. What happens when they say no to recording? Totally fine. Ask permission to write notes. All of this is contingent on the type of conversation you're having. So if you're just catching up with a friend or a colleague and it isn't something that you know you'll be putting into a big project later, or you're planning on putting in a big project later, like for mom or grandma, then you probably don't need to record the conversation and you probably don't need to take notes unless it's a business meeting, in which case this video is not applicable. If the conversation is for a larger project and the person has declined to give you permission to record the conversation, ensure that you ask that you can take notes. And if you want to quote something specific, journalism rules apply. Ask about quoting them specifically in whatever you're putting together. And be upfront about what your intentions are with the conversation. If it's just a catch up, just a little sit down, just to hang out, then obviously you don't need to have those conversations. But if it's something that's part of a larger project for you, then you need to be sure that the person you're sitting across from is fully aware of what you're planning on doing with the information they give you, which could change the conversation. They might not be as open about things, but so you really need to have your intentions figured out and what you want out of the conversation. And that will drive what you do during the conversation, what you do after the conversation, and whether or not you are recording things for historical value and posterity's sake and all of those things. So if you have any questions on any of that, feel free to put them in the comments.